Okay, we're in progress. That's good. So today I want to introduce a little guided imagery. At times it can be helpful to use some of this imagery to support our practice. Because, using certain images can highlight some of the qualities that could be helpful for us to bring into our practice. So it can help that way. And so today I wanted to spend just a few minutes kind of engaging the image of a mountain. This particular guided imagery is adapted from Jon Kabat-Zinn's mountain meditation, originally published in Wherever You Go, There You Are, which he published. Book came out in 1994. And it has some additional reflections and adaptations from me. So let's just establish ourselves in a seated position, and first we'll just take some time with this image of a mountain, which maybe can help connect us a little bit to our own kind of groundedness, as well as our capacity to kind of rise above the earth into the sky with a more kind of expansive vision, regardless of what conditions we find ourselves in our lives right now. So allowing this image to emerge in your mind's eye, and if you're in a place where you can close your eyes, it's helpful to maybe cultivate this imagery so that we might connect a little bit more deeply into some kind of sense of, abiding presence and stillness within us. And also that we might be able to kind of, in a sense, borrow the archetypal kind of qualities of a mountain and use those qualities to strengthen our own intention and commitment in the practice. Mountain meditation can be done really in any posture, but it seems to naturally lend itself to sitting, if you can, sitting on the floor or sitting upright in a chair, so that the body looks and feels most kind of mountain-like on the inside and on the outside. Being in the mountains or in the sight of a mountain, if you happen to be, is helpful, but it's not necessary. It's really more important to have this kind of inner image of a mountain within you. So seeing this image now of a mountain in your mind's eye, and focusing on that, along with some sense or feeling of a kind or essence of mountainness. Perhaps picturing, the most beautiful mountain that you know or have seen, or maybe even climbed, or just a mountain that you have heard about or read about, so that some picture emerges. And as you see this picture, begin to notice some of the detail, the overall shape, the lofty peaks, the base rooted in the earth. And you might look upon it and notice how massive it is, how unmoving it is, how firm and undivided, and how that carries its own kind of beauty. A beauty that really is produced by its own kind of unique signature or shape or form of that particular mountain. And at the same time embodying a kind of universal quality of mountainness that transcends any particular shape and form. And just kind of calmly exploring the details of the image as you sit here, gently breathing in and out. And as we get in touch with how rooted and solid the mountain is, we might also notice that it's changing over time. It's also moving and changing. It's influenced by the seasons and by weather patterns, by the sun and the moon. And as we sit here seeing this image and feeling the mountain within us, we might also become aware of the changing nature of our own lives. Buffeted by high winds, by cold and rain, enduring stormy periods of darkness, pain that might symbolize our own challenges in life. And along with the stormy periods, the mountain experiences periods of ease, as do we, when we can simply savor moments of joy and calm. And just like the mountain, we too interact with and are interdependent on our environment in which we live. So now, more than just simply gazing upon this image of the mountain in your mind's eye, also attempting to kind of, in a sense, bring it into your own body so that your body sitting here and the mountain become kind of one. You might imagine your head as becoming the lofty peak of the mountain, your shoulders and arms the sides of the mountain, your buttocks and legs the solid base rooted to the ground or to the seat of the chair. Experiencing in your body the sense of uplift, the elevated quality of the mountain deep in your own spine. And in a sense, inviting yourself to become a breathing mountain, unwavering in your own stillness. And just being who you are, completely who you are right now in this moment. And we might notice the details that illustrate the mountain's kind of changing nature as well, while still maintaining its overall identity as a mountain, just like we can have changes in our life and still be who we are. Picturing in your mind's eye the way the light changes as night follows day on the mountain. And the mountain just sits, simply being itself. It remains still as the different seasons flow into one another, as the weather changes moment by moment and day by day. And you might picture this mountain of yours in the different seasons. The colors of summer and the absence of snow on the mountain, except for perhaps the very top of the mountain. In the fall, the mountain might display these brilliant colors, vegetation changing, leaves dropping. In winter, perhaps it's blanketed by snow and ice. And in any season, there are changes, different things that happen on the mountain. Sometimes it's covered in clouds or fog, pelted by freezing rain. And just noticing how the mountain can receive all of this, the sun, the rain, the snow, the fog, and wind. And it does so without having any particular preference for any one weather pattern or condition. And how we too perhaps can befriend the many weather patterns and seasons in our own lives without getting overly resistant to or preferential toward. By, in a sense, becoming the mountain in this meditation, we can connect with its strength and its stability and adopt them as our own. And we can incorporate those mountain energies so that supports our own efforts to encounter each moment with mindfulness, equanimity, clarity, stability. So along with the image of the mountain, becoming aware of your own bodily sensations, the weight of your body sitting here, the contact it makes with the chair or floor, noticing the movement of the breath and any felt sense of steadiness or solidity. And doing your best now to keep this mountain image or mountain sense in a way in the mind and body as you sit in formal meditation. And explore its usefulness in deepening your capacity to dwell in stillness, perhaps even to sit for longer periods or to sit in the face of adversity, difficulties, storms, or just the everyday kind of drabness. And notice what you're learning from your experiences with this mountain practice. Can you see even just a subtle transformation occurring in your attitude toward things that change in your life? Can you carry the mountain image with you in daily life? Can you see the mountain in others and allow them their own shape and form? So we'll continue on now practicing and sitting meditation by allowing the stillness to surround us as we sit here fully awake, steady like a mountain, until we hear the sound of the bells. touching in to allow the stability of the mountain, the image or the sense of the mountain stability to help support you in your own firmness and resolve to simply sit here in a stable, upright position, no matter what shows up in the form of thoughts, emotions, sensations. Not just toughing it out, but allowing it to come and go without it moving us in a way that takes us off of our practice of being present without judgment, moment by moment. This is a poem by Mary Oliver entitled "The Poet Dreams of the Mountain." Sometimes I grow weary of the days with all their fits and starts. I want to climb some old gray mountains, slowly, taking the rest of my lifetime to do it. Resting often, sleeping under the pines or above them on the unclothed rocks. I want to see how many stars are still in the sky that we have smothered for years now, a century at least. I want to look back at everything, forgiving it all, and peaceful, knowing the last thing there is to know. All that urgency, not what the earth is about. How silent the trees, their poetry being of themselves only. I want to take slow steps and think appropriate thoughts. In 10,000 years, maybe, a piece of the mountain will fall.